Games, my guy.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's only a game. Why did you catch the man?
Hello, welcome back to Games My Guy podcast, the esports podcast by fans for fans. My name is Patrick Aches Avery Kenny, and joined as always on this rainy day off. I don't know if it's raining for you, but Ethan Doc Goose Butler. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty well. It also is raining here for me, so it feels like I'm with you.
Yeah,
It feels like I'm there,
yeah.
and it feels right. This is my favorite type of weather, despite I know not for everyone, but if I could live in a place where it's always kind of rainy, I would be in heaven. And so this is just a dream.
It's true. I also feel the same way. It also encourages me to play a lot more when it's like cold and rainy out, just because there's nothing else to do. So might as well get some games in.
Might as well get some utilize some new skins maybe, or maybe try a new champion in League of Legends I know you've been doing a bit. Or,
Oh yes.
Maybe some Halo even.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yeah, Halo esports is getting kind of fun now. There's a lot of there's a lot of push. Like there's still not the fan base for it yet, and I don't think that'll be there until Halo Infinite comes out. But there's some ripples going on. I mean, Snakebite posted a YouTube video about how he wants the like caliber of Halo esports to go up, and that people should be taking Halo more seriously, which is exciting. But I mean, it really won't get sparked until a new game comes out to really make a change in that kind of like pool. Because right now we're all just playing games from like 2007 and like
it's
pretending
great,
that they're relevant.
It's wonderful, but
yeah,
in terms of modern esports, you need something to jump, like you said, to jumpstart to light the fire under their ass of the lead.
Exactly.
A lead of sorts.
Exactly. And games look a lot different nowadays, so it's
and like I'm happy to see though, I'm seeing a bunch of like actual organizations like announcing, like I'm not sure if it's a return to Halo, but like announcing rosters. So it's kind of cool to see. I think I saw like Cloud9 did, I think Envy, or something like that, both announced like Halo rosters, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I'm just sitting here on like a Tuesday afternoon, and all of a sudden, boom, Halo.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any other organizations jump back in from the past, like Final Boss. That'd be really cool. Final Boss came back, or Carbon. That would be really cool.
Hear me out.
Yes.
Games, my guy.
Games, man.
We just need. Well, how much was a slot cost in one of these old leagues?
For Halo, probably nothing. Probably nothing.
Me and you will go on the street for a bit, maybe play some music. We'll buy a Halo team.
Yeah, we'll bus for it.
We'll put ourselves on it. Like, I'm not great. You're good. So like I can drive the vehicles though.
Yeah, there you go.
But there's not vehicles though, so we'll make it. Damn it, I'm making the whole lead up now.
We'll make something happen. But I mean, Halo is another podcast on its own.
Too much to talk about,
of course, but that'll be coming. But Overwatch League, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. And I mean, we were talking about skins contenders. We're getting some new skins live on the client, so that's kind of exciting.
Yes.
I mean, you just opened up your Genji box, right? So you have the Genji skin now?
I do, yeah. Because I saw it all over Twitter, and I didn't know if like a pleb like myself, there's a old bitch like me, would be getting this contender skin. And so before we started the recording today, I thought, I'm gonna go check it out, and there it was. And so I quickly equipped it, gushed about it, and then here we are. Because it looks really cool. Like the contender skins are nice. Like the green and black, it's like a fancier Houston.
Yeah, and I mean, contenders has always been one of those topics in Overwatch esports where people are like really excited that there's an ecosystem to produce great Overwatch League caliber players, but it really hasn't been getting the notoriety or the coverage that that a lot of people think it should be getting. And I think this is a pretty good incentive to get people, at least thinking about contenders when, before it was a stream that you never watched.
Yeah, like now, say like a casual fan who may not even actually known that like Overwatch had a thing called contenders. Like they may have heard the word, but they may not really being aware of like teams, players, skins, whatever. Now, when they open up their game today, maybe they'll install in certain parts of the world. I think that's being loaded out at different times in different regions.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll see this, they're like, oh, what's contenders? And then maybe they'll Google it, see some teams, like, oh, this one of my favorite players played for this team. I'm gonna follow them. And so that's kind of like, it's just like it's a domino effect that could maybe lead to, maybe not, I don't think it's gonna lead to immediate like height jump in viewership, but it's gonna maybe start a trickle effect where people start to think, oh, the off season's on, I want to watch some Overwatch. You know what's on right now? Some really good quality Overwatch, especially like Korean contenders, EU contenders. The British Hurricane's been so awesome. NA with teams like my favorite team is like Drifters, but so there's just so much good contenders to watch. And if this gets any people looking at it, I think it's a great idea.
For sure, for sure. The only bad thing that can really come out of this is all the new Genji mains that are going to be coming out just to play the skin.
Hello,
it's
That's
just
me.
it's just going to be everyone, which is fine. I mean, I haven't.
Genji's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah. I haven't really seen or played up against a Genji in a while, so it's really double snipery right now out on the fields, the battlefields. I'm
predicting a horde of Genji soldier. That's what's coming. The soldier buffs went through and the changes.
My god.
It's here. He's soldier. The legs are bad, baby.
Oh my god.
It's some people think it's weird. I play him a little bit. I'm not a soldier main, so it's harder for me to tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But you do feel different when you're shooting a soldier now, and it feels more. I think if someone's actually good at this hero, they're going to destroy you.
That would be
scary.
Honestly, if that DPS lineup becomes meta, that'd be so sick because it would just be dive again. Like we would just be playing dive again, and I would absolutely love to do that. Not just because I love playing Winston, but more so because I want to play in the new Halloween skin. That's all I want, really.
Oh my god, they're so good.
The werewolf Winston, come on.
It's so cute. Did you see his tail?
Yes. He's a
moves
big doggy.
A
like, come on.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like that.
I'm a big fan of also the Flying Dutchman Sigma. Just because now I saw someone did a picture where it's just like you can now make up like a full 6-man squad of pirate skins. It's just like the actual pirate crew. Because like Baptista's got one, Sigma's got one now. I think Hammond or something like that. There's now so many pirate skins.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That's actually really cool.
It's beautiful. I love it. Everyone loves though the Echo skin. I think the most is like the one that's got the most attention.
For sure.
At the end, it's so scary.
Yeah, it gives me serious Coraline vibes.
If you're to tune in, if anyone's listening, all they hear is just.
If you're just tuning in, oh god,
oh heavens!
Oh man,
what are you doing to the furniture?
Yeah, there's a lot more Overwatch League news going on, but honestly, I think we should talk about the finals just to put it to bed.
Well, yeah,
it's a big milestone for the Games My Guy podcast with the finals finally finishing up, but it was a pretty crazy weekend, and I think it's a weekend a lot of people were expecting the outcome, but definitely not in the way that it happened. The biggest story coming out was the Shanghai Dragons losing to the San Francisco Shock, not even in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dragons completely missing the finals, Seoul taking their place. It was, I don't know, of course Seoul Dynasty is a great team, but that was definitely not the team you thought you were going to see in the finals.
No, after Seoul actually had kind of I don't want to call it a rough season, but in terms of overall, it wasn't their strongest in a lot of ways. There was it was very inconsistent season is how I think the best thing you can say about the Seoul Dynasty. At times they're one of the best teams in the league. They could contest the Dragons. They were awesome. But then the next week they would get 3-0'd by London. And London's not even a bad team, but just comparatively in APAC, London's Shanghai. But and so it was a weird season for them. They struggled to adapt to certain metas. They struggled maybe to get some chemistry going. But now in the playoffs, they just found, just like when London won the championship in season 1, it worked out well for these London boys that the meta developed into a way that allowed them to be on heroes that they just destroy on. The Jester's HOD was unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Marvel and the Sigma and whatnot. And Prophet, just whatever he wants, he can do whatever. Again, I'm very scared of Prophet. I just have a irrational fear that he's going to kill me someday. But
yeah,
it was not the team you expected to see.
No, definitely not. And I mean, it all kind of came to a head for the Seoul Dynasty Shanghai Dragons game just before the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were seeing a different gesture. We were seeing a different Prophet. Really, it was a team that looked really, really good. But going up against San Francisco Shock, that is a team that has been dominant and proved that they've been dominant for this entire season. And it's kind of irrefutable. Even APAC region fans, they have a lot to cheer about. I mean, the Seoul Dynasty storyline is amazing, and that whole organization should be super proud about what they were able to accomplish.
Very much so.
Yeah, coming second in the grand finals, not a bad place to finish off. That being said, hell yeah, San Francisco Shock.
We were on that train that whole morning.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Ethan and I met up over Discord early in the morning to watch the Seoul Dynasty San Francisco Shock game. It felt fitting. We did record it, which is going to be a highlight video. I was actually working on this morning. But yes, I'm going to make a highlight video out of it. But I mean, it was a really, really exciting series. A 2-4 finish for the San Francisco Shock is so dominant. And you got to say that it really kind of comes down to how the DPS kind of adapted to the situations. And Ons, my guy, deserved every piece of that win. Absolutely every piece. He was going up against double snipers. Seoul Dynasty was throwing the kitchen sink at him, and he just was able to produce and was able to find openings. The Widow v Widow duel, Ans was all over it, and it's just
Fitz. I will say though, Fitz actually did super well in these finals. I was actually very impressed with Fitz, and that for most of the season he was pretty good, but he wasn't it wasn't seen as top tier in my eyes, at least. He had some really great moments.
Yeah,
but it wasn't I didn't think of him in the likes of, let's say, players like Fleta, Carpe, Ons, KSP, even, to be quite honest. I'm obviously I'm just a KSP fanboy though, so that's for me. But seriously though, KSP popped off. And so in the finals though, Fitz was actually taking it to Ons a lot of time. In that duel, like you said, Ons came out clutch with certain moments. Ons had the moments when he won when he needed to. Fitz won sometimes when it was just a normal team fight, but when it came down to the clutch, Ons was often getting those T pickoffs. One moment in the finals that comes to mind for me is when he got that 2-piece on, what was the map? It was the Temple one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going blind here. Pat, stall for time.
No, but yeah, of course. I mean, we were both a little spooked. I mean, in the beginning, because San Francisco went up to Oasis. Yes. Oasis was pretty dominant from the San Francisco Shock. We thought it was going to be a quick night, honestly, or a quick morning, with San Francisco going up 2-0 after the first two maps. Got real spooked at Gibraltar. I'm going to tell you that much for free.
Oh,
yeah. That 3-0, that was the spookiest gosh darn game I've ever seen. And it really looked like San Francisco was going to get a run for their money. But in the end, I mean, San Francisco has been dominant this long. Everyone knew that the Shock was probably going to win, but it was a pretty exciting match. There was a lot of stuff to look forward to.
The ending, one thing we talked about Jester's Hog, but you want to talk about a player, let me tell you, who came into this game. He played throughout the finals as well, but he's a true icon of the league. He's the 2-time champion. He's the god among men. Matthew Super Cashew DeLisi on that Roadhog. Body gesture that most of that game. And it made me very proud because I think sometimes APAC looks down on NA, and I'm very proud to say that I think the regions actually, are very competitive with each other. I don't think it's a stop one way or the other. I think it's any given day, any given meta, one region could be stronger. certain metas benefit A better, certain metas maybe benefit NA better. It's a wonderful thing to see that it's not like a run over stomp. They're very even, and I love to see that.
Yeah, and the meta is a
Also, I love Super.
Oh, of course.
Just to be clear.
Of course. I like that is we are biased. That is that
A little bit.
Dude, we should have said that at the beginning when we started talking about this, but we were hoping San Francisco were going to win.
You
Philadelphia.
tell by our excessive woos.
Yeah, exactly. Philadelphia, I mean, it was cool that they showed up.
Yeah, they got to go to Korea. They got some nice dinners.
Yeah,
it was great.
I'm assuming during the Dynasty game they were discussing who gets the window seat on the way home, but
maybe, and I'm assuming, yeah, like Funny Astro and Boombox had to fight over a croissant, maybe, or
of course. I also think Funny Astro wanted the window seat because he always feels more comfortable against a wall. Yeah.
Nice.
Aisle? What did you just say to me? You have an aisle seat, sir. No.
Coco is okay.
Feel the rhythm, and he just punches the
pull through the plane. Just KDG comes up from first class because the other players are better than like Coach. Coach comes up from first, and with Carpe, who's also in first.
Yeah.
It's just like, Astro, did you punch a hole through another plane?
They both lift up their eye covers when they're in like house robes.
Move the caviar aside. Carpe's just got some champagne. Like, my dear boy,
why
what are you doing?
Why are you causing such a ruckus here, boys?
I like to think, yeah, like most of the teams in Coach, Carpe, KDG, and like, let's say Sato for some reason is up there in first.
Yeah,
but then like Alarm's in business. He's on his way up to he won Rookie of the Year. So he gets business class.
Yeah.
But then just the Brits are in the back. Poco's at the front of Coach. They just Astro, what is in it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Alarm doesn't get business class. They just give him one of the sangrias that they get for free, and they're like, "Congrats,
you did it." Thank him. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you need a blanket, Alarm? So I don't know if I have any to spare. Carpe says under a pile of 3.
in like a chair of pillows. Anyways,
with our headcanon about what the Fusion strip home is a different story.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get some sort of YouTube vlog series of the Fusions. So we'll just wait for that. And if that isn't a thing, you're welcome for the idea. There you go.
Yes, we would like credit at least in the credits.
Yeah. If it says games, my, or guy somewhere in the credits, that's all we need.
We feel vindicated.
Yes,
in that sense.
Yeah. But the Twitterverse is aflutter with Overwatch League news. With the finals all wrapped up, we are officially in the postseason, which
season's going crazy.
Yeah, which only means one thing, and that is trades and speculations.
That F5 button.
Yeah, and teams literally just setting themselves on fire and seeing what happens. Ethan, you're at the heartbeat, you're at the ground zero for all of this stuff. What is your take on how the postseason has been treating a lot of these teams?
I'm afraid. I'm fearful.
Patrick,
scared.
I'm scared.
I sit with immense anxiety at all times that I'm just going to be not at home, maybe, and then like a team's going to implode. And then which has almost happened. I've been at work sometimes, and I'm trying to think of tally so far. So Gladiators, 4 players gone, I think. Houston now, almost all of them. There's like 3 people, including Boink, on that team. Maybe 4. I guess you have Dante, Meko, Boink, and Repel. What a roster, really. But then like London ditched 90% of their team. Houston's going crazy right now. They put out a Twitter post, which most people think says most players are leaving, which is kind of surprising because like players like Dante, Meko, I think did a great job. I was most surprised to see Jet say have looking for team posts because he actually was probably outside of Dante their best player, and so it's just going wild, man. Like I know it was a rough season for some teams, but there's a lot of some teams didn't need to go this hard. Is what I'm trying to say. Like the Outlaws could have kept I think they should have kept Linkster. I think he was looked strong this season. Won the Widowmaker 1v1, which I don't think people were taking lightly. That was literally worth $15,000. That is not a competition.
Yeah, that guy got paid for that.
Yeah, he got paid to kill soon.
Over and over and over.
So like, I think it's gonna be like I said, we're hitting F5 right now. A bunch of teams. I'm happy though. My favorite team has not really hit F5. We announced 2 players departing. Again, still super early days in the offseason, so all this could change by later today maybe. But as it stands right now, certain teams are getting ready for a very aggressive rebuild.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme of this offseason. Everyone is full sail, completely gutting out their organizations and trying to make something new out of it and starting fresh, which is, something that we've seen in the Overwatch League in the past. I mean, Boston Uprising does it every single season, but just because they are always looking for new talent and they're always trying to bring players up that they think they can develop, which is super admirable.
Oh yeah, and
but they should keep some players
from other regions as well.
Yeah,
they don't just pick and choose from like Green Contenders or NA, EU. They've picked from South America. They've gotten from Australian contenders. So it's been kind of wild to see. But I appreciate that Boston's willing to look the whole world over.
Yeah,
because there's more than just 2 regions in the world, or 3.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So, also, I forgot that Florida also ditched 4 players.
Oh my god.
Well, Saya player went to Valorant, and the other 3, he's now not Spider, I think. Saya player is now Spider.
Oh, cool.
But he's on T1 now. So
hey, there you go. I mean, that's not a bad swap for you if you got the skills in Valorant.
And also like Saya player as good as he is, like BQB had kind of a standout year on. Like, all the heroes Saya player would have played, so like you don't really, not that you don't need Saya player, but you probably wasn't going to be playing over BQP anytime soon.
That's fair. There's a lot of speculation about where the British Hurricane are going to go, if they're going to be called up. I know that was something that you were talking to me about.
I really want it. If that's where they're going, like if they are building around like Lister, Bernard, JMac, and I think Fuse is still there, but they could go that way. But I think they're them getting rid of the players is one thing, but it's the coaching staff leaving that makes it that rumor that went out a while ago a bit more clear. So like I think it's heading that way. A lot of people are hoping for like British Hurricane, but a couple of their members are underage, so maybe sign them as a 2-way player, keep them on Hurricane so they can develop them. But you could sign Linkster to the Spitfire. You could sign Boombox is what a lot of people want to see, because Boombox is shown to be still quite good on certain heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a couple of players now available of EU who could find a new home maybe on the Spitfire if they go in that direction. Like I think Linkster 100% should go if they're just Barker is underage, I think, till like May or June.
Right.
So they need someone, and Linkster's a high quality hitscan player. So
yeah, and like that's the biggest thing right now is there's a lot of huge talents, Overwatch League veterans that have open contracts, so literally they can go anywhere. But there is something to be said about the benefit of signing a whole team to replace a roster. Like it's hard to do it like bits and pieces unless you have bits and pieces that have worked together with like before. But like the best example is the Vancouver Titans coming in, back in the day when they were the most dominant team in North America.
You could say they ran away with the league. You
could definitely say they ran away with the league. You absolutely could.
Yes.
Some people do say that for sure. So,
I've heard maybe it mentioned.
Yeah. So I mean, there is merit in investing in a full sale buying of a new team or bringing up a whole roster, just because that synergy, especially in Overwatch, is so important, and having a winning dugout and a winning mentality on a team, that's priceless, baby. That's huge. So I mean, It would be really cool to see the Hurricanes picked up, but it does also feel like teams are more likely to build a team out of pieces that they're looking at.
Yeah, I'd say certain teams I think that are obviously going to be doing more of that, because
what are we going to do, man? Like what's going to happen?
been very quiet, very mum about how things are going right now, which I think they said they're really taking their time. Well, exactly. There's no need to rush into anything right now. Like the season, there's also this rumor that a new format was pitched to the league, that the league would start in not till April next year, maybe, just to how things are going.
Right.
But I don't know how substantial that is. So you have plenty of time to build. Obviously, there's deadlines and things with roster building, but this is just the first week. You have time. Really assess what your goals are. Start at the coaching position and work your way down. So that's probably one of the hardest positions to fill. Like John Buck just left the shop today. So I think that they're finally looking for a guy who's eager to prove himself in the head coach position, because he's not been a head coach yet. He's been working with Krusty. He's a guy who's learned. If you can get a guy who's learned from Krusty, for God's sake, get him. Like, do it.
For sure. Honestly, anyone in that organization you want to get, I'll take the janitor. I'll take the guy who,
Yeah, fuck.
like, honestly, anyone who's been in that room.
Well, he's got Super over here. He can just yell at agility.
Has there been any word on the Surefour front? Has he said anything about?
I haven't been watching his stream lately, but I know from what I hear, he hasn't really been playing much Overwatch. He plays it. He plays a variety of other games. He's done Valorant, but he's done not like enough to say, oh, he's going that way. I don't think he would go with Valorant. If anything, if they can convince him to stay on, he needs to really prove himself again. I say, because man, you kind of there's issues we don't know about, of course, and this is how, like, a fan, you feel a bit betrayed because you want to see more of Surefour in the league. We just want to see more of him, and we support him no matter what. But
yeah.
If they, at the very most, I say it's most likely he's in retirement to maybe a streamer for the org. They have Karku as well, but I don't see Surefour being around next year, which kind of sucks because I was talking about this when I was trying to think about building a World Cup team. I was like, Canada only really has like one hit scan player, and it's Surefour. So if he leaves, if World Cup comes back, it's gonna be like Agilities and Razor, who are great players, and Magnitude maybe, but all three of those players are traditionally flex DPS.
Right.
And so one of them's got to learn how to shoot people.
Yeah, someone's gotta be the next Canadian superstar. And
shooty boomstick.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, honestly. But all of these roster changes, it's definitely going to open up a lot of different opportunities and a lot of. I mean, if I see Linkser in anything but an Outlaws jersey, it's going to be weird. Like that'll be a weird day for me.
Yeah, it's going to be confusing. It's been 3 seasons, and like, man was like their best player, arguably, for 3 years. To be honest, I would, other than Dante, to be honest.
Yeah,
I would say Dante and Linkser, then Linkser, or maybe Dante, Jesse, Linkser. It's very confusing. I just like Linkser, but it's gonna be a shock to see him like this. With him leaving, pretty much everyone's gone except Boink was there in season 1, right? I think he was.
Yes.
Yeah, Boink was there in season 1. Yeah. So they've still got Boink.
Boink was there when Clockwork was still playing.
He was playing Tracer. We need a Tracer player. Jake, Linkser, Clockwork. I'll just look at each other like
rock, paper, scissors.
Jake's like just throwing tires all over the place. Tracer? What's funny is Jake's really good at Tracer now. And so like today's Jake would really help season 1 Jake Outlaws.
Yeah. If that was ever possible, that would be exactly what the team needs. 100%. 100%.
Awesome. I'd love to see Jake combat with the legs with Soldier. He's not going to because he's got a nice cushy job. But like Jake Soldier, bring him back.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
I don't know. Hopefully we'll see some of his YouTube videos popping up.
Oh yeah, he's doing some good content. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's stepped up his content game for sure. Probably going to be a big name for Overwatch League in the years to come, just as like an influencer or a community rep of some sort.
I hope he stays as a caster as well for next season, because I think started out he was obviously he was still learning the trade. His early stuff was just doing World Cup, and then he came for League.
Mm-hmm.
And he did World Cup in 2018, and he did I think this year as well. But he's developed into a really strong caster. I think he's clearly very intelligent about the game. He can speak so fast. Like that one match where like ZP he had technical issues, and he just just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so they solo casted and they spoke like 1,000 words a minute or something like that. It was nuts.
Yeah, no, he has a real knack for it too, like just casting in general. He has a real knack for it, and he has such a great perspective on it too, just being like a high caliber professional player. It's really refreshing just to hear a player talk about what is going on in a professional game, you know?
Yeah, oh for sure.
It's just
It was-
great insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that brings us to the end of our podcast episode. Ethan, do you have any final thoughts, dreams, maybe a wish list of what you hope the off season will have for us?
My hopes are everyone needs to just take a breath as well. It's going to be hard. This is going to be very difficult for everybody. There's going to be a lot of goodbyes. It's going to be brutal, but there's going to be a lot of hellos. And so that's always nice. And so I think if you're a fan of Defiant, is what we want. Not we talked about all the teams, but Defiant we've talked about a lot.
Oh yeah.
So Defiant, if you want to continue investing in Canadian talent, it's out there. Like I mentioned Razor, but the Defiant need him less than I see the Titans would need him, because they have agilities and stuff like that. So agilities is a similar player, but have hope that your team will be okay. It's going to be rough. You may be mad at them, but just have hope. Trust me. Take it from someone who's been through 2 rebuilds, possibly 3.
Possibly 3.
I don't know anymore. I've said goodbye to a lot.
Yeah. You don't know where one rebuild starts and the other one ends.
At some point, it's in the off season, but then all of a sudden it's middle of the season or after stage 1. I don't know. Things are going crazy, but just it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Good. And we'll have to see
some words of some final comfort.
For me, I'm excited that Contenders is getting some more notoriety and getting a little bit more attention. Hopefully this offseason will show a flux of players and fans going over to Contenders, just from just for the health of Overwatch and as a general thing. Like that would be really, really nice. I can't wait for Halo Esports to be at the top of the ladder again. I can't wait. It'll happen one day. Hopefully hopefully Halo Infinite is everything that we want it to be. But yeah, those are my thoughts. But we will see you all next podcast.